Do you remember the excitement of receiving the Sears catalog in the mail? The smell of ink on thick pages, the joy of circling toys, clothes, or even dream homes with a pencil. It was like flipping through a treasure chest. For decades, the Sears Wish Book wasn't just a catalog. It was a rite of passage that connected families across America. You could order everything from underwear to entire house kits, and the anticipation of delivery made each purchase feel magical. At its peak, Sears and Roebuck wasn't just a retailer. It was part of the cultural fabric. Stores anchored shopping malls and small-town downtowns, while its catalog reached rural farmhouses, giving people access to goods they'd never see otherwise. Yet today, only a handful of Sears stores remain, and the once legendary catalog is just a memory. How did America's mail-order giant become a retail relic? What does its rise and fall teach us about embracing change and listening to customers? But first, let's go back to where it all began. The story of Sears starts with a young railroad station agent named Richard Warren Sears. In 1886, he noticed that a shipment of gold watches had been refused by a jeweler. So he bought them and sold them to station agents at a profit. That small side hustle turned into the R.W. Sears Watch Company, and within a year he teamed up with watch repairman Alva Roebuck. Together they relocated to Chicago and published their first mail-order catalog offering watches, diamonds, and jewelry. With the arrival of investor Julius Rosenwald in 1895, the little watch business blossomed into a general mail-order firm, adding dry goods, furniture, hardware, and pretty much anything a farm household could need. Early catalogs proudly called themselves the cheapest supply house on Earth, and by 1894 they had grown to 322 pages. Sears' secret was customer service and transparent pricing. Instead of haggling at local general stores, rural families could browse fixed prices and order by mail. Richard Sears wrote much of the catalog copy himself and championed the motto, "We can't afford to lose a customer." By 1906, when Sears sold stock to the public, the company was worth about $40 million and boasted roughly $50 million in annual sales, with around 9,000 employees. That same year, it built a 3 million square foot distribution complex in Chicago, a logistical marvel that could process thousands of orders a day. Sears didn't just sell socks and stoves, it sold dreams. In 1908, the company introduced kit homes with pre-cut lumber and detailed instructions. Between 1908 and 1940, Sears sold an estimated $70,000 to 75,000 homes. The kits ranged from modest cottages to grand magnolia mansions and arrived via train for easy assembly. When automobiles shrank rural distances, Sears adapted again, opening its first retail store in Chicago in 1924. By 1929, more than 300 stores dotted the country, and brands like Kenmore Appliances and Craftsman Tools became household names. Even during the Great Depression, Sears remained profitable, earning over $12 million in 1931 and building its reputation on inexpensive essentials. By the mid-20th century, Sears was on top of the world. As America suburbanized after World War II, Sears stores popped up in strip malls and brand-new shopping centers, serving as anchor tenants alongside J.C. Penney and Montgomery Ward. The company expanded into Mexico and Canada, and by the early 1960s was the largest retailer in the world, the first to achieve $1 billion in monthly sales. Families saw Sears as a one-stop shop for clothing, appliances, tools, and even insurance through its Allstate brand. Nostalgia lovers remember the Wish Book, the thick Christmas catalog introduced in 1933. It was filled with Mickey Mouse watches, Lionel trains, dolls, and even live canaries. By 1968, the Wish Book boasted 225 pages of toys and 380 pages of adult gifts, totaling 605 pages. Children would pore over the vibrant illustrations, circling their most wanted items and dreaming of December mornings. Sears also dominated the skylines. In 1973, it moved its headquarters to the Sears Tower in Chicago, then the world's tallest building. At the time, annual sales were around $10 billion, and more than 700 stores spanned the United States. Culturally, Sears became synonymous with reliability. Whether you needed a washer, a wedding ring, or a warranty, the company stood behind its products. Generations grew up trusting the Sears name. But as the 1970s rolled into the 1980s, new competitors and changing consumer habits began to chip away at its dominance, setting the stage for an unexpected downfall. So, what went wrong with this retail titan? Several forces converged. In the 1960s and 1970s, discount chains like Target, Walmart, and Kmart emerged, offering similar goods at lower prices. By 1991, Walmart had dethroned Sears as the nation's top-selling retailer. Sears responded by diversifying rather than focusing on its core. In the 1980s, the company pursued a socks and stocks strategy, adding financial services to its lineup. It purchased stockbroker Dean Witter Reynolds and real estate firm Coldwell Banker, and launched the Discover credit card in 1985. Sears even partnered with IBM to create Prodigy, a pioneering online portal offering email, news, and shopping. Although visionary, these projects distracted management and cost more than $1 billion, with little return when Prodigy was sold. Meanwhile, its core retail operations stagnated. Stores became dated, and customer service declined as costs were cut. In 1992, Sears' revenues peaked at $59 billion, but the company began selling off its financial assets and announced plans to simplify its structure. In 1993, Sears discontinued its iconic catalog, ending nearly a century of mail-order tradition. Although it returned to its retailing roots by 1999, it still relied heavily on its credit card business, which it sold to Citigroup in 2003. Sears also misread the threat of e-commerce. A July 2000 press release touted that Sears.com sold everything from electronics to baby products. But the company saw Walmart, not Amazon, as its primary threat. While Sears dabbled online, Amazon quietly scaled, branching from books into electronics and home goods. In 2005, Amazon's sales were only 17% of Sears, but within 6 years, Amazon surpassed the retailer, and by 2016, its revenue reached $136 billion compared to Sears' $22 billion. Sears simply couldn't keep pace with the convenience and breadth of online shopping. In 2004, struggling competitor Kmart announced it would buy Sears for $11 billion, creating Sears Holdings with roughly 3,500 stores. Investors hoped cross-selling Craftsman tools and Martha Stewart products could revive both brands. The merger's mastermind, hedge fund manager Edward Lampert, later took on the CEO role. Initially hailed as a prodigy, Lampert embraced a hyper-competitive management style inspired by Ayn Rand. He divided the company into dozens of autonomous units that competed for resources. Instead of fostering collaboration, this strategy pitted divisions against each other, leading to inefficiencies and cannibalization. Profits briefly peaked at $1.5 billion in 2006, but dwindled to almost nothing by 2010. Between 2011 and 2016, the company lost more than $10 billion. As stores were neglected, shelves became empty, and employees were stretched thin. External pressures compounded the missteps. The Great Recession of 2008 battered retailers and accelerated consumers' shift to value and online shopping. Sears' aging stores, many located in struggling malls, were ill-equipped to compete. The company tried spinning off real estate into a trust and selling iconic brands like Craftsman to raise cash, but these moves further weakened the core business. By the time Sears filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in October 2018, it had closed hundreds of stores and lost over $11 billion since 2011. In the years that followed, Sears shuttered most locations. As of September 2025, only 5 stores remain in the United States. The once mighty catalog and department store empire had become a cautionary tale. The lesson? Even the largest companies can falter when they stop listening to customers and adapting to cultural shifts. Diversification without focus can dilute a brand, and ignoring emerging technologies or treating them as novelties can leave a business vulnerable when the world changes. Sears' story reminds us that nostalgia alone can't keep a business alive. Though Sears' decline is poignant, its legacy endures. For many, the name conjures memories of shopping trips with parents, trying on school clothes, or picking out a craftsman tool with grandpa. The catalog introduced rural Americans to consumer culture and helped knit together a vast country. Sears kit homes still stand today, a testament to ingenuity and affordability. The former Sears Tower, now known as Willis Tower, still dominates Chicago's skyline, a monument to the company's once towering ambition. Today, a handful of Sears stores continue to operate, and vintage wish books fetch premiums on auction sites. The brand lives on through licensing deals and memories, even as other retailers and online platforms fill the void. In an era when you can order anything with a tap, it's worth remembering that Sears pioneered the very idea of delivering goods directly to customers. Did you ever flip through the wish book or spend Saturday afternoons wandering a Sears store? What treasures did you circle or bring home? Share your Sears stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Thank you for joining Relic Rewinds on this journey through retail history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more blasts from the past every week.